Hello everyone, welcome back to Cup of Campus. I'm your host XJTLU, and today we are here with our three amazing guests, and they will be talking about growth, the ups, the downs, and everything in between. Let's start with introducing our guest. Let's start with your names, your majors, where you're from, and just for a warm up, a word that would describe your university life.
Okay, so let's start with me. Hello everyone. My name is Waisaka Puspajayani. You can call me Y or just Huiling, my Chinese name. I'm grading soon, so I'm a final year student majoring in business administration. I'm from Indonesia, and one word that can describe me as a student is like I feel I'm kinda proactive students.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Jansen. I'm currently year 2 student studying international business with language, and I'm from Indonesia as well, like Waisaka. And one word that can describe myself. University life. University life. It's fun so far.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Tusankine Salasini. You can call me Tusa for short. I'm from Zambia and I'm doing my postgraduate master's degree in sustainable construction, also graduating this year. I'd say one word to describe my university life is life-changing. It's not one word, but life-changing.
Okay, that's great because like today we have a year 2 student, a student graduating from undergrad, and a student who's graduating from postgrad. So let's dive into it. Yes. Okay, so university is such a transformative time. Like no two journeys are the same, right? So I would want you guys to share a moment when you realized you had grown or changed significantly in a professional aspect. Is there any you guys want to share? Stories? Internship?
I would say maybe my first day of class.
Interesting.
Doing my postgrad, of course. Because I did my undergraduate in architecture, and that, of course, is a passion for me, so I enjoyed it. But with my postgraduate in a major like sustainable construction, I felt it was so... The moment I learned all about it, everything about the way I think completely changed. And I think professional-wise, personal, academic, I think everything for me changed from there.
Yeah. Was it like a good change or like...
It was a good change.
Okay. That's good. That's good to hear. What about you guys?
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna say like it's about my internship. So last summer I have 2 internships. Mm-hmm. One is at Hanzhou. I'm working as a administrative staff at there offline, while the other, so it's at the same moment, so it's kind of like really stressful for me. While the other internship is I got it from IBSS through my teacher. I working that as a HRM intern at Fesco Adeco Shanghai.
Oh, so the internship was in the school.
One is in the school, I got it from the school. One is outside, so I applied from a China apps called Boss.
Oh, that's interesting. Because I didn't know like IBSs did internship.
Oh, they have. So they're not afraid. Like if you don't know like whether you can get internship or no, it's fine because like IBSS always give us lots of opportunity about that.
Okay, that's good to know.
And for me, since I'm still year 2, I haven't done any internship yet. Mm-hmm. I just joined like some organization outside of university and also inside of university, and I'm currently like in SFT, Sustainable Future Talents, and also like for outside university, I joined SIC. It's like Sujo Indonesian Student Community.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should we move on to the next question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. As we all know, XJTLU has a very unique environment with like different culture, different academic challenges, and so many opportunities, as we just heard as well. I want to know, like, how has life and XJTLU shaped your adult life in general? Like, influencing your perspective, decision making, or career aspirations?
Okay, so if for me, cause like choosing XJTLU as my university, at here we have lots of professor, a lot of TA and friends from different background, right? So when I'm meeting them, I'm speaking with them, I feel like I'm kinda more open-minded. Also, like for me, when I'm becoming a university student at here, I feel like it's not also easily for me to prejudice someone because like I think like I'm kind of more like open-minded, like more tolerant of these things. How about
Okay.
you guys?
So basically, like because XJTLU environment, like it's so diverse, and like we can meet a lot of people, right? Like from Chinese student, other international student, or even like student from your own country as well. And also like academic, also quite challenging for me.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it's so stressful because a lot of deadlines. So like you need to balance it. So like so far, XJTLU has shaped me like how to manage my time and also like to be more responsible with your with your responsibilities. Basically,
True.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I could actually like agree with both Y and Jansen.
Yeah.
I think as an adult, well, I feel like I'm more adult here. I mean, I'd say like for the most part, my adult life started a bit earlier, so to speak, because I started school fairly early. At least the university, I was in a Chinese university at 16. So I'd say university life definitely shaped me as a grown-up. Other than my boarding school life back home, right? But, because it's an environment where you're not really with your family. I mean, maybe some people have siblings, but for the most part, you don't have your closest family. And for a lot of us coming from other countries, it's very far away from home. You can't just go home every other day.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of people, like professionals, friends, TAs. You have things like deadlines and classes, and it just shapes you to be more independent.
Yeah.
So I'm very pro. Get your kids in university. I think it's a good experience because in as much as we do need each other as family, as friends, it's a good time for people to discover themselves as individuals. Because I like, just by virtue of being away from home, I'm able to survive in that setting. If I'm going through something, I'm able to do it with a clearer mind and, let's say, not have too much dependency. I think that's important as you grow up, because I've seen some cases of grown-ups who aren't able to meet deadlines, who aren't able to work well with other people. And that is also one thing I appreciate about XJTLU. There's a lot of opportunity to get to do that. You get to work on group projects, no matter how much we hate them as students, right? We get to work on group projects because that's how it is. I've also been in a professional setting and worked for a company. You have to work with other people. With architecture, I had to work with civil engineers, I had to work with plumbers, electricians, and everyone has a different background. Everybody's kind of different. Some people get on your nerves, some people are good to you, some people are not. And I think getting in school is a good way to kind of practice that, because that's like the same thing in a way you might experience out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with her also, because like we meet a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And different people from different countries have their own, perspective and also like the way of thinking. And then, sometimes like they treat people differently. Sometimes like we need to adapt like with their own culture, or they adapt with our culture. So like basically like adaptability is also important when we study abroad.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen our previous episode, but I remember one quote done by our previous guest, Sadudi. She said something along the lines of, everybody deserves to leave their country at least once in their lifetime. And I feel like that is so true to all of us, because staying back in our home country, we're very comfortable. We don't know what anything is outside our country most of the time. We don't know how to be by ourselves. We don't know much about independency. So I feel like going to university outside your country in general is already a big step. It's like, it's a challenge that you're willingly accepting. It's very nice. I think everyone should try it at least once in their lifetime, whether it's a language school, whether it's your undergrad, whether it's your postgrad, whatever it may be. But at least try it once in your life so that you learn more about it. Maybe you'll learn more about your own self. Maybe you'll learn about the world more. So I think that's one thing that's always in my mind nowadays.
Actually, to build on that one, it's a good thing you said like the thing about getting knowledge, right? Even not just personal knowledge, even academic knowledge, because I think the way other people in other countries have progressed is very different from somewhere else. How we do architecture in my country is not the same as here. And being exposed, luckily in an international university, I'm not just exposed to Chinese, I'm exposed to people from all over the world. I get to learn about how it is for them.
Yeah.
And as in a professional sense, to understand how things work in other places can help you grow. And I personally feel very inspired when I learn about other countries or see other countries. I'm like, I won't copy it, of course, but it's like, I see how they make this work for them, right? They use maybe this building principle. I'm like, okay, in our country it's a bit different, but this is how I can shape it for my own situation, you know what I mean? And that stuff, I feel like I wouldn't have learned if I never left. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question. University is full of surprises, right? Some unexpected, some good. But then I wanted to know, like, what's one thing that turned out to be completely different from what you expected here in XJTLU or Suzhou, academic-wise?
Okay, so if me coming from Indonesia, like the education system is kind of different. I don't know, like you feel this or no, Jensen?
Okay.
Okay, so I feel like in Indonesia, usually like if the students is not come to the class or didn't attend the meeting, or if you come late to the class or didn't submit your coursework on the right time, usually the teacher gonna like scold you, call you, or like send an email notification to keep you, to remind you on the right track.
Oh, yeah.
But at here it's totally like really different.
Maybe because like XJTLU like adapting like Western kind of education style, right? And like it's so different, Western and Eastern education style.
I mean, in a weird way, I feel like it's the exact opposite for me.
Really?
Okay.
That's interesting.
Okay, so
Hear me out. Say from my high school experience, and okay, high school is kind of different because you know they were kind of on our backs, but that's because it was high school. But like my bachelor's experience, right? Maybe it's just a university difference, and knowing how some universities are back home, because my older sister, she did her bachelor's in Zambia and now she's doing it in Japan, her master's in Japan. So the way I saw the school system is, it feels like maybe the staff is a little more laid back. The systems do not work in your favor, and essentially, like there's this weird saying, like if you can make it in like the University of Zambia, you can make it anywhere, right? Because there I would see my sister like really trying to be proactive about things she's not supposed to be proactive about, okay? Like they don't know when they're graduating, they don't know this, they don't know that. Like it feels like the school's a bit back on that, but here I feel like when I came here, even just transitioning from my previous university, it was completely different. It felt like it was easier for me to be proactive. Like I have no excuse. Also because I've been part of the student staff board, like the student staff liaison committee for design school, and I'm like the chair for civil engineering postgrad. So it's like we get to have these board meetings where we talk about, you know, how we're running design school. What are the students saying? What do they need? Are there any policies we need to change? Because I think each school in the university can do that. Business school, this. So design school, we have one, and then any issue that's school-wide, they take it school-wide. Anything that's department-wide, and yeah, right? So it's like every time I sit in those meetings, even the staff, like, because as a chair, I chair the meeting, and the staff is the vice. Okay. So the meeting coming up, I'm the chair. And then the staff member is the vice. So because they're very student centered, which is a kind of learning or teaching technique I've only come to know about here. So it's very student centered in my opinion. So it's like they don't just say I feel like they don't just say we put students first. They do put students first. I've seen some people run some suggestions and they're implemented now.
Okay, so rather than getting more on this, let's move on to the next one, okay? Like, because I want to say, like, we all faces challenges, big or small. It might be, like, your FYP or the studies or anything in general about studies or academics-wise in university, right? So I wanted to know if you guys could share, like, a story that you have gone through, like, during your FYPs or, like, any projects or internship research programs, if you have any. Dissertation. Oh, post-grad.
One thing about me, I feel like I get in my head so much. So I tend to overthink because I want to be perfect. So it's a bit of, I'd say, a little toxic perfectionism or something. And I try to moderate that as much as possible. So I do my best rather than not doing anything because I'm scared of not doing anything, or let's say failing. But with my dissertation, of course, at that point I knew I had to do it. There's no backing out now, right? But it's because with the dissertation, it's not an exam. Like with undergrad, we had exams and we had like a submission, like a project we had to do. But this was different in the sense that with a dissertation, it's not like I'm just designing something, right, based on a project brief that I'm given. Like that's what I was used to, of course, from undergraduate. But now I have to find a problem and then find a way to solve it, right? So that's pretty much what the dissertation is. You're writing a paper of some kind. So it felt very intimidating to me because I haven't professionally written before. I don't know how to conduct research. I mean, I like it. I'm interested in it. I like this whole idea of finding answers and finding gaps in this and this. But I'm like, how do I put all that into a document that someone can read and understand, you know? It was even more than the grades for me. It was more like, this is something, even for my future, because I would like to pursue a PhD, right? So this is something for me in future that's it's going to be life-changing. I have to make sure it's great.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Like, I make sure it's great and then I'm panicking. I don't know what to write. I don't know how to write. I want to ask my supervisor a million questions, but I also don't want to be bugging.
So, like, how do you overcome that is my question. Like, is there a way you've learned that helps you at least overcome it a little bit?
Show myself a little grace. So as a person, if you're in your dissertation phase or FYP, right? Just show yourself some grace, okay? I know, especially in these days when everything is competitive and whatnot, you want to be perfect. But sometimes that drive to perfection would drive you in the ground, okay? If you don't know how to manage it well. So show yourself some grace, do the best you can. So that's what I try to do. Just write something every day. I just tried to write something every day as best as I could, and also just try to be honest with it, honest with myself. I was confident in the work I did. My issue, I had to dig deep and know that there's actually nothing wrong with what I've done. I like the whole basis of my project. What's actually bothering me is maybe that I'm worried about writing. So that's where I tried to maybe put my energy and not make it like it's the whole dissertation that's the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of agree with this because like sometimes we already find the problem, we know how to solve it, but how to put it in words, like how to make people understand, it's kind of like hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with it because like right now,
You're doing your final year
I'm
project.
doing my final year project, so yeah, I'm agree with it. If me, okay, so let's don't talk about dissertation. I'm gonna talk like how first time I'm coming here. First time I'm coming here because like I'm from Indonesian, like I never learned like how to conduct a research paper or a research report, and then how to like analyze all the patterns, see the market size, etc., etc. Like for me, first time it's really like confusing and also overwhelming. And then like how I overcome here. So I usually like write an email to my teacher. That's why I say like I'm kind of proactive student because like I'm gonna write email to my teacher, see like, hey, can I go to your office hours? I have something like this, like this, like this. So that's why I say like go ask your teacher. Do not afraid because like your teacher will not bite you.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Nothing's wrong with you.
Contrary to popular belief.
Yeah, and then as use all the university resource like eBridge,
XJTLU library. Yeah.
XJTLU library and Sipu AI.
Oh,
like
yeah,
use
Sipu
them
AI.
all.
Yes.
Shibu AI
Yeah,
is
use
a
them all.
It's
It's
really
cool one.
useful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna
I've
be
never
really
used
useful
it.
for yourself.
Oh, you never use it.
It's on Learning Mall.
Yeah. It's,
I've never tried.
maybe because like I'm still year 2 student, right? You guys is senior, right? Maybe I haven't faced those things yet, but like so far, yeah, I agree. My weakness is in writing actually. So like I always overthink and also like very stressful every time I wanna do writing because like, okay, how to make a good writing?
Yeah.
Like because like sometimes like you need to do like very deep research, right?
Yeah.
Like how to build a good argument for your essay. It's really important to get good grades. That's why. And to be honest, sometimes like to get good mark in writing in essay, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes like what we think like, okay, maybe it's good already for us, but sometimes it's not good yet for professor. That's why like,
Yeah.
you know, you need to reach professor in order like for them to know like what's your issue about your writing, and also maybe they can help you, they can guide you, and also they can check your essay, and yeah, maybe they can give like a very good feedback. And feedback is really useful, you know, like from the professor. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like similar to mine as well, because like there have been several problems with like group projects and stuff. Like even though the ideas, the business plans are good, you don't know if it will work or not in real life. So to be fair, I'm going to my professor's office hour after this, by the way. So I have to like talk to my professor whether it can be implemented in real life. And the professors actually give you a very good advice. It's like very useful because they've seen the field themselves. They know what's good, what's bad. So like my personal way, like if I have any problems with studies, it's always best. The way I overcome it is either reaching out to the TAs or reaching out to the professor or asking them questions during like breaks in lectures or after the tutorials or beginning of tutorials because they're free during that time. So try your best. Even if you have any problems with academic, you can always reach out to the module leader. Or also, other than academics, I guess, if you have problems with your mental health, we also have counseling sessions.
And actually, like recently, like they sent a lot of emails about counseling,
Yes.
right?
I've never been there.
Yeah, me
'Cause
too.
people move out of their country, they feel a little bit overwhelmed, right? There are a lot of students. Because for myself as well, when I first got here, it was very overwhelming. I was getting what do you call it? Homesick.
Homesick.
Oh,
Yes. I wanted to go back home. I was like on my phone. I was like, I am so lonely. I want to go back home. But then at the same time, we had counselors. So I saw the email. I went to talk with them. They were like, "Oh, this is like." They explain you properly. They give you like proper counseling sessions. It's like you can either book it with a group of people or a single session.
Yeah.
You also have like your academic advisors. You have a lot of things. You can find it all on
Personal
eBridge.
advisor as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone has that. Like, if you have any problems, you can just email them whenever you want. Everything is very proper. I like that. The way for me, the way I overcome all that sadness, overwhelmness was reaching out. Reach out to people. Reach out to the professionals. Reach out to people that are provided by the school. It's always a very good option.
Yeah.
Don't just think, because there is a stereotype like, oh, counseling session, this, that, and people be like, what? But then, come on, like, be real. Everyone needs to reach out to someone at some point.
Actually, especially with the personal advisors, because I think as international students we have one.
We do.
We do,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, we. So I know I have an academic one, and for me, I have tried both routes. Academically, I've reached out to academic supervisor. I've reached out to my own like dissertation supervisor, which they are very helpful, by the way. And I guess also overcoming a lot of the challenges I've had academically, they're very helpful. I feel like I have a bit more hope, from them. There's something about the staff. I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but there's something like design school staff. Shout out. There's something about the staff that just gives me a certain level of hope for my academic future, my professional future. And I had this one instance where it was an issue with tuition. And because I had this partial payment plan, right? And I had like a bit of an issue with getting this lump sum that was left for my semester. And they said I can't, because like if you don't pay before a certain day, right, you have your learning mode gets shut down and all this stuff. And I was panicking because this is my last semester, and I talked to my family about it. They're like, oh no, please see what you can do, because it's your last semester. You can't, it's like you're almost done. How can this be happening? And I was like in like a real state of panic. And because I reached out to academic services, and they'd said, okay, there's nothing we can do about it. And I decided to reach out to my academic advisor. I can't remember what led me to do that, but I did. And not academic, sorry, personal. And I explained the situation, like, is there any way I can just do it and like still try and pay later or whatever it is? And she's like, well, actually, there is a way you can do it. And I'm like, wow, so maybe there's just something academic services didn't know, or maybe didn't understand about the situation. And she had found out everything from me, and she contacted Marcus actually. And he sent like this whole thing, like, actually there's a way you can finish it. The only thing is if you don't finish paying, you won't get your like graduation package. That's the only thing. Until you pay, then you get it. Otherwise you can finish the classes. You can still access your mail and your e-bridge and everything. Like, if it weren't for that interaction, I don't know. I would probably, be a whole state of panic. So I'm very much on the side of trying to reach out. Like, you'll never know. If I had just ended it one way, then I wouldn't have found people who and they were very proactive, answered my emails in good time, added the WeChats where necessary. I had no complaints whatsoever. Yeah.
That's great. Like as I was about to ask the next question, which is similar to like outside of classes, XJT offers a lot, right? Clubs, projects, internship. Is there like one experience outside the classroom that had a big impact on you? Like maybe changed how you see yourself on your future? Because as far as I remember, recently they had like an Italian something with the embassy, and then the Italian students met the president. So that's president of Italy or something, if I'm not wrong. So like,
right?
It's crazy how you get those opportunities in China. Like you come to China and you meet a lot of people. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like who would have thought? So that was one thing that was on my mind. Like, yeah, you never know.
That's actually very interesting.
Anything else you guys want? Because if I'm
Clubs.
like SISC, like how is SISC? How is working there?
So far SIC is really fun because like actually if you become like part of the committee, like you work to make an event, and then like also you connect with other region, because like SIC is not like a personal how to say like
Not just for Indonesia, but I mean like Indonesia itself, we also have like people from different city from Indonesia with different backgrounds, so it's also like shift your perspective, right?
Yeah, and also like the organization like they are like the entire China has their own organization or Indonesian organization, and also like the organization so far like other than making event, like how to learn like soft skills, like communication, problem solving, teamwork, and I would say like leadership can be if you become like the coordinator. But since I'm the member, I just follow and also try to communicate and also try to just work what they told us to do, basically. And yeah, like it really helped me like to improve my soft skill also. It's very important also to build soft skill.
Okay.
That's why.
So, I want to ask something. Like, sometimes a single piece of advice can change everything, whether it's from a professor, a classmate, a friend, or a project that gave you advice or learning moment that really sticks to you. Like, has there been a moment with you guys that really stuck to you guys?
I'd say, and I guess this particular moment for me, and I guess this might also feed into like the extracurricular activities that had a big impact, right? Because at that particular point in time until this point, I had already considered continuing my academic career, so like the PhD, right? And I got a chance to, and this was, I guess, one way I tried to fight my writing disease. I submitted an extended abstract for like a conference for this group called Cumulus. Yeah, so I submitted an abstract for some seminar they were going to have at school. And yeah, like actually my supervisor had sent that to me. So she knows where I want to go in my academic career, and she's always been trying to
Push
help
you.
She'll send me this, like submit to this, because she also knows my paper, like my dissertation topics, my research topics very well, because we share them. I also, like you did, I reached out to her. I didn't wait for the one given to us by the department because I wanted my own project, so I reached out to her because we share some similar research interests. So she sent me this thing. One among the things she said, I'd written before, but it wasn't accepted. So this one she sent to me, I got accepted. And I got accepted for it to be published. And it was a small win, but I can't tell you how happy I was. I'm like, I get to have even the smallest thing I can say is going to be published. I wrote that, And I was like, wow, and I got a chance to present it at the symposium. It was actually held here, like ES building. Yeah, so there were all these people from different, it was like mostly Dutch people, right? So I'd met some really nice people from what?
Everywhere.
Forgive the geography. But yeah, I had a chance to interact with some really amazing people who've done amazing things, and I'd gotten a lot of, key points, key words from them. And I mean, there's one thing for the key, let's say a key phrase, right? From my supervisor, she always says, consistency, right? And I don't just apply that because I mean, at the time she was talking about writing consistency. She's like, as you write your paper, make sure you don't have letter A here, number 1 here, keep the spacing. This, like, she's very, let's say, what's the word?
Strict.
Not really strict. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, like strict. Like, she's very particular about stuff like that. So she's like, if you're going to use bold here, use bold everywhere. If you're going to use a capital here, use it everywhere. Be consistent. And at that point, I'm like, I also apply that to my day-to-day life. Like, just be consistent, I think if I wasn't as consistent in trying to participate in things or trying to apply myself here or put myself out there, I don't think I would have gotten that opportunity or all the other opportunities I've had, yeah.
For me, I feel like there's this one quote that's stuck in my mind. It's just like, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. So if you don't change your habits, let's say if you're not changing the way you're studying, then you're choosing that way to study, whether it's good, whether it's bad. People say like, oh, I want to go to the gym. You want to go to the gym, you go to the gym. You change your habit. If you don't change that habit, you're choosing to not go to the gym, to be fair. So like, that's one advice from a friend that I got, which has been stuck in my head. So like, it's a thing I implement in my life nowadays. So always remember, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. So it helps a lot. It actually does.
If me, like, the question is like having an advice from your
Friend,
professor or
professor,
friend.
anything.
I think it's kind of tough question for me because like at XJTLU there's a lot of super nice, super wise professor or TA. Also like I have lots of friends who helped me through um, until I survived until this stage. But if I can choose, I will choose my also FYP supervisor. Like he is Dr. Jaden Kim. He also keep remind me like persistent, consistent. Like also he also keep remind me like how important time management it is, because like during the year 4 like you have FYP, you also have another another module, and that another module also have another exam, another coursework. So if you don't have good planning, it's gonna become really stressful.
Yes.
And sometimes honestly, sometimes I really stress with my FYP, but luckily enough my supervisor was really open, like we communicate about this, how to solve this. He also teach me a lot of things such as how to do the data coding, the thematic analysis, how to interview people efficiently. So, and I think like, so sometimes like the overwhelming can be a little bit reduced because of his motivated words. He also said to me like one word that really stuck in my mind is like, do remember like if there is a way, if there is a will, there gonna be always a way. So yeah, we need to fight for what really matters to me.
Yeah, pretty good.
And for me, like maybe it's from my friends, because like sometimes my friends give me advice, because sometimes I reach people, especially to my friends, if I have problems, let's say personal problems or academic problems, like they always say to me like, what you think and what you do is what you become, like that. Sometimes like if you think like badly, like I don't know,
to do badly.
yeah, do badly, like
it's more like
unproductive things, it's what you become later. Like maybe let's say you become, if you like to drink, let's say, and then like you become addicted, right? And you're really hard to to get out from those things,
Yeah.
because like if you do something new but it's very bad, sometimes it's very hard to get out, you'll get stuck, that's why it's much better to do something like good things for you and to other people.
Okay, so finally, let's reflect a bit, okay?
Yeah.
If you compared your CV from your first year to now, what would be the biggest change? Whether it's like new skills, leadership roles, or just confidence, how has your professional and personal skill set evolved?
All of the above.
All of the above.
I also do like all of the like checklist, all of the boxes.
Because like for me personally, I've done several internships now, like leading coursework group projects. That has given me new skill sets. So stuff like that is piling up in my CV, I guess. Yeah. What about you guys?
For me, like because I haven't done internship yet, I'm just focusing on doing organization, so like it improved my soft skill a lot, for now, like they really changed me. Like maybe like in the past I cannot do like managing my time, and then also being responsible with my stuff, and then I cannot even be independent, I just rely and being dependent to other people. And now like because like I'm in uni, I'm already adult, I need to change this habit, and I try to just do whatever I can. I'll just do my best, and then now I can feel like my soft skill has grown a lot.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah.
If me, why I say like, I think from the job experiences, because like right now I have 3 internships, so yeah, I have lots of job internship. And then for the soft skills, I also experienced it. I mean, like from the organization, from the internship, I feel like in the past I'm more like passive students, but now I'm more like on proactive students. And then the second one is from the Mandarin proficiency, like during the internship or the organization, because like we are in China, sometimes you can be the only international workers or students that join that organization or join that firm. So you don't have the choice, like you get to step up from there. You need to learn Mandarin, you need to speak, you need to write. So that's why I feel like my Mandarin language, like Mandarin proficiency, is really improved during the internship. And then the third one is I feel like I also more confident in leading some projects, efforts, and take the initiative. Like also I think right now it's easily for me to speak whatever is on my mind. Like I can speak efficiently, not just to my friends but also to the professionalism, like what is on my mind, what I want.
Okay, hi Isha, in like 10 years, I guess. By now, you're probably working by yourself, you're probably running a business, who knows, hopefully. But I hope you're happy. I hope you found the people around you. Hope you found a new family wherever you are.
Okay, so hi Waisaka, in the future, I don't know whatever is your job role or age right now, but I wish you always like keep persistent and fight for whatever truly matters for you.
Hi Jensen, in the future, I know maybe you're struggling right now, but just believe that in the future it will be worth it.
Dr. Tusankine, in the future, you better be a doctor. Always remember this moment when you felt like your life changed.
So I guess let's wrap up now. Thank you so much for sharing your journeys, your challenges, and your growth with us today. It's incredible to see how much a person can change in just a few years, let's say. So I guess if you guys enjoyed today's episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow us. And if you're listening to our audio, don't forget to follow us on Spotify and leave us some comments for the next episodes of Cup of Campus. Thank you, everyone.